Hey there, wise ones. Emily here from Wise One Witchery, and I am here to talk to you today about the Priestess Path. So, yes, I know it's Wednesday. If you're here and you're like, where's Wednesday Wisdom? I'll be back on in a few minutes to share that with you and pull some cards. But right now, I'm just going to talk about the Priestess Path because I've had a few questions coming in and I want to just answer them in one place. And then if you have other questions, feel free to tag me here in the comments and I will happily answer them. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this feed over in on my other screen so that if anybody is watching from the group, I can make sure to see your comments. If Facebook's being nice, that is. So, the Priestess Path is a 12 lesson, 13 moon journey where we come together twice a month to practice our magic. You get 12 lessons that include curriculum that's written and exercises that are there, as well as 2 live sessions a month. And this is really with the goal of helping you to drop more fully into your magic wherever you are. So maybe some of you have been practicing for a long time. Maybe you're brand new. We're going to start with foundational practices, which means we're going to be learning how to ground ourselves, to clear our energy in our space, how to cast a circle, how to work with the elements. We're going to be learning all of those things. And then we're going to bring it all together into a ritual together that we co-create. It's one of my favorite parts. There's lots of favorite parts along the way. This is actually one of my favorite programs to teach because I just love watching everybody step more and more into their confidence and their comfortability with their magical selves. It's really, really awesome. Uh, Somebody's telling me to stay safe and warm. So you must know, I'm not seeing who it is, but you must know that we're having a huge storm here and it has just set in. Oh, Jen, yes, you are probably getting the storm too. So I hope that you also stay safe and warm. Anyway, with the Priestess Path, the second part that we move into is the inner work. So the inner work is really all about delving into parts of ourselves that we may or may not be comfortable with. That includes looking at sacred sensuality, really moving into our bodies, having the experience of what do all of our senses tell us? Because the more you know yourself, the more connected you're going to be to the energies that are all around, and the easier it's going to be for you to channel them. So we do sacred sensuality. We work with the maiden, mother, and crone archetypes. And in that part, we really look at what our relationship is with the maiden, mother, and crone, with actual mothers and grandmothers and our small selves, and maybe even just children in our lives. We look at all of it and we explore it and we embrace it. And most of us have some stuff. Most of us have some wounds in that area. So this is one of the places where we really delve into those and bring some balm to heal them. Then from there, we move into shadow work. And the shadow work piece, shadow work, buzzword, tagline, it's all over the place where everybody's talking about their shadow. But it's valid. That's the thing. We all have these pieces of ourselves that we maybe reject or don't quite like. And the work that we do together in the Priestess Path is really to examine those and find out how those pieces of ourselves are our allies. So it's about creating a positive relationship with those parts of ourselves that maybe we're like, not so much. So we've done our foundational practices, we've done our inner realm work, and then we transition as we start to move toward the end of the Priestess Path, that halfway point. We transition into working with tools. So we start to learn about all types of divination and learning some exercises to work with those things. And then we also move into working with guides and allies, as well as dream work. Gotta love the dream work. And I was going to say the dream work makes the dream work, but that doesn't even make sense. But I love the dream work. I love those unconscious realms that we access. We also will, in that section, be working. So I said guides, allies, and spells. That's the fourth one. So we'll be working with spells as well, crafting spells. How do you create a spell? All of that. And we end our entire journey together with initiation. So I am not a gatekeeper. I am not here to say, you are initiated and you are officially a priestess. What I am here to do, though, is to hold the container and help create a ritual for you to be able to step into that place in yourself and be witnessed in it, to be able to step forward and say, yes, I do claim this part of myself that is a priestess. Yes, I own it and I'm bringing it into the world. So that's how this all wraps up after our 13 moons together. Catherine's here and she says, I'm finishing the Priestess Path this month. It's been a great experience. It was an important investment in myself and I have grown so much. Catherine, it has been such an honor to walk this path with you. And yeah, the other thing that comes out of this is that we build these relationships. And this is part of the juiciest part for me, is getting to know everybody who's in the group and then getting each of you to know each other. It really creates this lovely circle of other women that you are connected to, and that you feel, I keep the group intentionally small so that people feel safe to be able to share what's really going on for them, to share their process, because part of what we learn, or part of how we learn, is in the sharing. So that's really important too. So that is the overall story of the Priestess Path and how that pans out. So I just want to answer a couple questions that I've had here. And then I see some people are hopping on going, please, I want a card. So I'm not doing Wednesday Wisdom in this chat, but I am going to be talking about the Priestess Path here for a couple more minutes. And then I'll log off and I'll hop back on and I'll pull some cards. So the questions that I've had come in are what's included. So as I mentioned, you get the written curriculum, you get 2 times a month meetings for those 12 months. Those meetings that we have, the first one is of the month or of the lesson is really a lesson. So it's more talking about the curriculum. Most of the time we always have an experiential exercise because I'm all about the experience. I think that's how I learn best. And I really think it's the best way for all of us to bring that information into our bodies so that we can bring it, then transmute it and bring it back into the world. So we have a lesson. The second meeting that we have is a ritual. And you will have an opportunity to practice some of the things that we've learned during these rituals. Whether you want to or not is up to you. There's no pressure. There's no homework. There's no grading. It's just a platform for you to be able to practice what you're learning in a safe environment, a safe space. You also receive access to the off Facebook community. So we have another social media platform when you have your own small circle with your cohort. So you can chat amongst yourselves in there during the times that we're not together and be able to reach out more easily. You also get access to the Diving Deeper membership circle. So that is included in your Priestess Path program. And the Diving Deeper membership circle includes twice a month moon rituals. So we do a new moon and full moon ritual every month. And then we also do all of the 8 Sabbats together. So the Wheel of the Year celebrations, I host a ritual for those. And then we also have access to a huge library of past classes, as well as discounts on conferences. So most of you know I do conferences twice a year, and you get huge discounts on those when you're in the Diving Deeper membership. The next one's coming up in spring. And I also there's astrology and plant classes that happen quarterly. So every season we have an astrology class and a plant medicine class. And I have started this year creating calendars to help guide you to other archived classes that might be pertinent to a certain month or a certain energy that's happening in a season. So there's just a ton of information there, meditations, past conferences you have access to, and some other classes as well. So like my pendulum classes in there, I believe. So there's a lot of information to help you grow your practice that lives in the Diving Deeper membership and is part of the Priestess Path. So as I said, we meet twice a month. Usually it's the first and third Saturdays of the month, and it's at 9 a.m. from 9 to 11. I ask you to block off 2 hours, so 9 to 11 Pacific time. Generally, we meet for about an hour and a half. I ask you to block off that 2 hours just because sometimes we do go over. And even if we don't go over, you then have a half an hour to really sit with what we've learned, take some time and space for yourself, which I know a lot of us are very busy and don't take that time and space for ourselves on the regular. So it's kind of built in. I'm trying to help you build that into your life a little bit more. So the first and third Saturdays, ask you to block off 2 hours, but we meet for about an hour and a half. I also have been asked, what happens if I don't make it? What if I can't come to class? That's okay. Life happens. This is, this is a commitment. We're committing to each other for a year. So I'm committing to show up for you. You're committing to show up for yourself. And if you have something else happen and you're not able to make it, that's okay. I record all of them. And I record them not like on YouTube or Vimeo or any of that. I record them on my computer and then I upload them directly to our class site so that there's no possible way that any of the sharing that happens or the ritual that happens, any of that is going to be public. It's all just for those in the group. So that is the scoop on the Priestess Path. You will see that there is a registration link up in the description of this video. That registration link will take you to a page that will also give you another breakdown of everything you get with the Priestess Path, and then the opportunity to sign up. Oh, the last thing I wanted to mention is that somebody asked me about payment plans, and there are payment plans available. So you can pay in full, you get a little bit more discount if you do it that way, or you can pay over the 12 months on a monthly basis to make it a little more manageable, just depending on where you're at. So those are all my questions. I just had to double check my list. But yes, that is all the questions that I'm answering today, unless anybody else has some here. And if you're catching this on the replay and you have questions, drop them into the description and, excuse me, into the comments and tag me in it. And I will make sure that I answer accordingly. For now, though, I'm going to hop off here and then I'll hop back on and we'll do a little bit of Wednesday wisdom and pull some cards.